And I want to, as I was saying, I want to warmly welcome you to our orientation session. We'll probably have another one, but this is the first, where we'll go over the MDCN exam and what we do here at Acemedix and how we prepare foreign medical graduates and how we've also had an amazing success rate so far. I'm wondering why someone created a voice chat, because it's going to be confusing. So if you are the one that created the voice chat on the page, I believe you should turn that off, because it's not okay. Let me just quickly join them and because it's not. Sorry, doctors. The meeting is going to be on Zoho. Please, if you're here, you should join the meeting link. We're not having the meeting here on this voice chat, please. Kindly join the Zoho link that was posted earlier by the secretary, okay? All right, so let's continue. I'm going to share my screen now. Usually I like to have brief meetings, but this is definitely not going to be a brief meeting. The orientation is a bit long, because we try to explain a lot about what we do in Acemedix Academy, so that the candidates or prospective candidates get to really know how we achieve or do the things that we do, and then you can also make an informed decision is if you want to join Acemedix Academy or not. Meanwhile, before we start, this is something I usually tell medical graduates who are planning to write the MDCN exam. Before you join any tutorial, make sure you get to know what they do. Usually from people who have attended the tutorial, friends, colleagues that you know, and then the one with the best recommendation, then go for it. Don't just join because people make nice adverts and offers. Just make sure you do your findings and then decide which one to join. Because at the end of the day, this is an important junction in your medical career, so it's not something to be played with. Okay. This is Acemedix, and this is our orientation program for foreign medical graduates. The most common question is usually, what is the MDCN exam? A lot of rumors are out there. That's the common question I get, and that's why I usually start with this. The MDCN exam, sorry, you will get opportunity to ask questions. So don't text me on WhatsApp with your questions. By the time I'm done with this session, then we'll go ahead and take as many questions as possible. And the MDCN exam usually is in two parts. There's the computer-based test and the objective or structured clinical examination, OSCE. So you get to hear OSCE, 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 or CBT a lot. Now, the CBT comprises of 300 questions, 250 of which are single best questions, and the other 150 is made up of picture test. Common questions are usually, 50, the picture tests have more marks than the CBA, and I don't think so. I don't agree. From the evidences I've seen so far, they both carry equal marks. Now, the CBT, some of you already did some revisions with me earlier on the page, the MDCN Forum 2.0, where we posted some questions. That's how the format of the CBT is. Let me show here. So this is the format of the CBT. There is the single best answer, which is, for instance, here asking for a commonest cause of peptic ulcer in Nigeria, and then you have to pick one. Then the picture basically means from the picture, your answer to your question is based off of the interpretation of the picture. So when you look at the picture, you say then you make an analysis of what the picture is trying to show, and then you can be able to answer the question. That's how this is structured. Then for the OSCE, we have what we call stations. A station is made up of an examiner with or without a patient and a set of questions that you're meant to answer, or some performances you need to do if it's a physical examination station. We'll talk about the OSCE in a minute. But for the CBT, usually the common questions are, does the CBT carry more mark? Does the OSCE carry more mark, or this or that? But from what we know, usually in the previous administration, that's before Dr. Fatima came on board, when people do not perform very well, usually CBT is the biggest challenge in this exam. When people don't do very well, they can lower the score of the CBT. I'm aware of that. I've observed that. They can lower the score of the CBT so that more people can pass, or they can disregard the CBT in case if there's an issue. Let's say what's happened one time in Ibadan where a whole computer center went off, so they had to cancel the CBT and they used the OSCE to grade. But generally, as a rule of thumb, the MDCN goes 50-50. I think last exam was 50-50. 50%, you have to pass 50% of CBT, you have to pass 50% of OSCE. One of the reasons why I believe we did very, very well, because over 300 something of the candidates in Acemedix passed the last exam, which is more than half of the people that passed the exam, was because we intensified our effort on CBT. Over the years, we realized that the biggest challenge is the CBT. OSCE is not really a big deal for this exam. It doesn't mean you would neglect that, just that it's not a big deal. We intensified our effort, did a lot of things, and it paid off a lot. So the CBT, it also showed in the pass rate, as well as the whole CBT being, it put to bed that whole concept of CBT being difficult. Because for me, I believe that we have I know we have hacked the CBT. It's just for us to keep fine-tuning the system that we have put in place. So one might ask, what are these systems? As we proceed in this orientation, you get to see the system that we put in place that makes it easy for anybody who follows our guideline to pass the CBT. So it's 50-50 for both. So for the OSCE basically means a station and an examiner. You could be asked to do something, either to perform an examination or to collect a patient, or just a simple case where you have to write maybe a short case, or identify an instrument or an X-ray, or interpret a lab. That's basically how the OSCE runs. Here is a sample of our mock exam, which you have a lot of them in Acemedix that will prepare you for the OSCE. The key to OSCE generally is your ability to first understand it. Secondly, you have to practice. And that is why we also do a lot of group sessions and group studies, both the online for everybody, and then also the center group studies, and then your own private group studies, which we are going to encourage, which I've noticed some of you have already started putting mind to that. So the group studies would obviously go a long way for the OSCE. Now, back to the CBT, usually one would ask, where did the questions come from? Oh, I had questions come a lot from community medicine, this or that. But I think the time for that has passed. Usually, I believe that the challenges that the previous administration had was the exam lacked a lot of transparency. I mean, it's not like the last exam was transparent. It wasn't particularly transparent, but it was better in the sense that the CBT questions, I believe, were uniform. Usually, in the last administration, we noticed that the CBT questions can be heavily on one side. So it could be community medicine, or like when I wrote my exam, anesthesiology, or it could be medicine, or it could be O&G. So out of 300 questions, maybe you're seeing like over 100 questions in a particular field. So that way it makes people assume that the exam is all about a particular field. No. But the last exam, I believe the questions were evenly distributed. That's why we didn't hear any of our candidates saying, oh, the questions were more of community medicine or more of O&G. They were evenly distributed. So when you are preparing, the same way you have to prepare that question could come from the core disciplines, medicine, surgery, pediatrics, O&G, community medicine. Then other ones like anatomy, physiology, anesthesiology, those ones just come here and there, 2, 3 questions, 4 questions, not necessarily much. And it's something you can even, you were in medical school, clinical pre-med, also pre-clinicals. It's something you can reason out. So they are not where the bulk of the questions come from. The bulk of the questions come from the core discipline of medicine, surgery, pediatrics, O&G, and community medicine. And that's also how we structure the program. Although during the lectures, we try to touch on relevant physiology, relevant biochemistry, relevant anatomy, because the lectures are handled by senior registrars who have ideas of these things, who have taken part in the exam as well. So they point these things out. That is why it's not advisable to miss any of the lectures. Okay, so we'll talk about that soon. So let's proceed now for the OSCE. Questions do commonly come out from the questions come out from either clerking, counseling, examination, data interpretation. In this case, I mean the labs. I mean, for the labs, I mean urinalysis, EUCR, complete full blood count, or it can be cerebrospinal fluid analysis, it could be semen analysis, even be case of preeclampsia. But these are things that you're going to be taught in the academy, so you don't have to worry yourself about that. So just giving examples for where the OSCE questions can come from. Then you could have an instrument, which is also going to be covered. It could be an X-ray, which will be covered as well. So the OSCE for us generally is being strategic and being smart. And that's also the same thing I'm going to say about preparing for this exam. It's not really about being intelligent. Intelligence helps, but it's about being smart with the approach. So Acemedix have adopted the smart strategy. We do not and we will not teach things that are not relevant, because I know most of you would join Acemedix would likely join the pages of the other tutorials and then come and say, oh, they are teaching these people breast examination, they are teaching these people full body examination, they are teaching this, that. And then it's something that we'll get most times. I'm like, no, we will not teach that. I mean, it's good if you want to learn it, but we don't teach that because they are very, very low yield. Over the years, we haven't had those sort of questions, and we've always been right. So advice would be to focus on, if you eventually decide to join us, and I hope you do join Acemedix. I don't think any tutorial compares to what we do in Acemedix Academy. When you do join us, I want you to focus on everything you're being told and limit distractions. Whatever you think you might get elsewhere, believe me, you're going to get it times 100 here in Acemedix. Now, our programs, these are a set of programs that will run. There's the MDCN, the main MDCN program. We have the CBT program, the master classes, bullet points. These are for MDCN. Then we now have the dentistry for dental candidates. Then we also run private classes, then PLAB and USMLA classes. Those ones, we won't talk about them now. The most important one, the main program, is what we're going to discuss. Then touch briefly CBT program, the master classes, bullet points, dentistry and private classes. But for those who have sent the brochure, which I'm actually going to post on the page, the brochure has it's a bit detailed, more detailed on this other aspect of the program. We'll touch on them, but the brochure contains most of the information. So I just posted the brochure on the page. You can take a look at it after this our meeting. Just focus on the orientation. Now, we'll come back to this later. Let's continue with the main program. The MDCN main program is our biggest program for the MDCN exam, because it consists of everything that you need to be taught to write and pass the exam. The other aspect of this, which is these other CBT program, master classes, bullet points, these are just segments of the MDCN program. You know how you're having, the best analogy I can make is when you're preparing, for example, you're preparing for WAEC, right? You're going for SS3 classes, or for those that wrote in SS2, but then you are, some people attended extra curricular classes, or so they call them, in other centers. So the fact that you're SS3, SS2 doesn't mean you cannot pass WAEC. You can pass WAEC quite all right. But there are those who want to just do additional lessons. That's what some of these programs are. That's what they are. The main program will cover exactly the main curriculum for the exam. Then for those who need extra attention to particular programs, that is where we created the CBT program, the master class, and the bullet points. For instance, the CBT program will focus more on CBT. Last exam, I don't think anybody, we had about 60 something people that did the CBT program. All of them passed. None of them failed the exam. That's for the CBT. But they felt that they needed extra assistance with the CBT, because in the CBT program, the focus is just doing CBT from beginning of the program to the end. For the master classes, now, before I go to masterclass, it doesn't mean that we don't do CBT in the main program. I'm still going to talk about the main program soon, and you see that we'll do CBT. Just that the CBT program now is an exclusive class just for CBT alone. The master classes, we have the MDCN and Clinical Knowledge Masterclass. Already noticed the Clinical Knowledge Masterclass started. There is one that started in October, which we talked about on the page. And some of you have requested for another. Maybe you were not aware of the program, and they want us to run another one, which we are currently working on, because we don't want candidates. Two things we don't like to do: to get overwhelmed, and then for our programs to clash. They don't clash, and our candidates don't get overwhelmed. It's something we try to avoid. So we might end up doing another clinical knowledge masterclass. Like the focus is, I mentioned on the page, is for lectures, nothing more but lectures, detailed lectures. Does it mean we don't do lectures in the main program? Of course we do. And we're going to show our lectures and how it's different from the clinical knowledge masterclass. Okay. Now for the MDCN masterclass, basically what implies is that we get what we do in this MDCN masterclass is usually towards the exam period. We get the examiners. So usually when MDCN fix the exam, we get examiners from those centers, and then they will revise the past questions according to the different departments. So we have, as you see on our website, we have all the past questions, but what we did separately was to categorize each past question according to this department, both for CBT and for OSCE. So for O&G, pediatrics, surgery, community medicine, OSCE, in the last exam, we had consultants and senior registrars from Ibadan that took these master classes, usually online, and walked the candidate through the questions, the answers, and the formats. Because at the end of the day, when your exam is in a particular center, although I'm hearing that next one might be in Kano, not confirmed yet, but that's what the rumor is saying. So for instance, now that is going to be in Kano, MDCN, they're not going to hire doctors outside of the Kano Teaching Hospital, Kano Teaching Hospital. So it is always best for us to get doctors from there that understand the format they are looking for, and then we use them to do the master class so that our candidates can be familiar with or with how they expect them to maybe answer the OSCE. It's usually for OSCE. We also do a CBT masterclass. So the MTN masterclass consists of both OSCE and CBT. Then the bullet points program is also something that we fix at intervals. What we do in the bullet points is a more focused lecture pattern. So what it does is highlight only CBT likely questions. So topic by topic. So you get hypertension, but instead of discussing the hypertension as a topic, it just asks you or gives detailed questions on what to expect if you're to answer, if you're to get questions on hypertension. These are the kind of questions you're to expect. So we do it topic by topic by topic by topic till the end. We do the same thing for O&G, the same thing for community medicine, the same thing for surgery. So per topic, we list out high yield questions. So that's what the bullet point program does. We fix this at interval. I think what we're likely going to do this time around is we might just fix an O&G bullet point program. It's usually a 2 days program. It's not long. So we fix an O&G bullet point program. Those who are interested can register for it, and it is done with the registrar for usually it's a 4 hours class, so 4 hours, 8 hours. But within that period, we'll go through all the topics in O&G, high topics in O&G, about 24 or 28 of them, and the likely question that can come out from each of these topics. That's how the bullet point program runs. Okay. Now, the dentistry group will have your own orientation later with the dentistry coordinator. Then we also run private classes for those who believe that, because there are people who genuinely do not like group studies. They want to have a one-on-one session. So if you're among those people, you can reach out after this session and we can talk about it generally. But our private classes are expensive, definitely. It's about 17,500 per class. And it ranges between the least class you can go for is 35 classes to as many as you want. So that's generally what I can say about the private classes. It's expensive, but it's usually worth it. I don't think I've seen anybody who failed from our private classes. And over the years, we've done a lot of private classes. Now, but the main program, it is still perfect, 100% perfect. You can guarantee it. I mean, you've been seeing all the testimonials I've been posting are from people who did the main program. So you don't have to worry about anything. You don't, especially if you don't want to, you don't need to get yourself worked up about private class or not. Focus on the main program. Now that I've given a brief overview of the other programs, now let's talk about the main program. Our main program, technically, is for 14 weeks, but in reality, our program runs till a day to the exam. That's how we run our program. We actually work with our candidates till a day to the exam. That's what we've done over the years. So even if the exam is in June, which is what we are working with, because if the MDCN, they will also announce for the remedial for those, I think Ukraine 2022, Sudan candidate probably, and then we're hoping that 2023 can be included as well, the Ukraine 2023. But they say they will sit on it and they will make announcements soon. So if they are going to be remedial program, then most likely it's for 6 months. The exam is then scheduled to be in June. So our program usually will start. We haven't fixed a date yet. It's likely January ending. And once we start, it's going to be till the exam day. That's how we run our program. So we start, then when they fix the exam, we now see the timetable is already formed. They will now fix the exam. We can now adjust our timetables accordingly. But it will not affect the entirety of the program. When I say we work with you till the end, is because we organize 2 to 3 days revision at the exam center free of charge for our candidates. So we usually close physical classes and online classes a week to the exam so that people can prepare and go to the exam center. Then let's say we close on a Friday, then Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is for you to get ready to go to the exam center. Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, actually. Then Saturday, Sunday, Monday is the day that we usually fix our revision. Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Then Tuesday is your rest day. Wednesday is the exam day. Thursday is the exam day. That's how we run our program. That's how we usually conclude our program. Now, there's something I didn't mention about the exam. So the exam is a 2-day exam. Usually, all this while it has always been Wednesday, Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday. And the last exam registered this something amazing. For the first time, The result came out in less than 12 hours. The exam concluded around I think around 9 p.m., sorry. And the results were out by 1 o'clock in the morning. So
Wow.
that was really impressive. That was really impressive. And it might continue that way because I had a meeting with her. I mean, she's not the friendliest of people, but she's very strict, and you know that she knows her job, and she's determined to do her job. I think MDCN exam is going to have a huge turnaround. She's quite strict, so it's obvious from the way she conducted last exam. Everything was on point, both the finishing, the starting, and then the results coming out. So I hope that's what we're going to be seeing. If that's still the same plan, it means that your exam likely, let's say, second week of June. If that's second week of June, you write it Wednesday and Thursday. Then by Thursday, Friday, early morning, 1 o'clock again, the result is out. That's technically how it might be. Okay. And then before we proceed, I just want to make something clear. Yes, the tutorial will start January. Do not think like it's too far, that June is too far. Believe me, before you blink, you're already in June. That's how fast it goes. Ask your predecessors and they will tell you that you wouldn't, before you know it, the exam will be like, you might think, oh, we still have a month, we still have like 4 months or 5 months or 6 months. Before you know it, you just have like a week, 2 days, then the D-Day. So as the classes start, make sure you start immediately, except something really needs your attention that might have to postpone resuming with everyone. So the duration, like I've tried to explain, even though we put 14 weeks, it's usually till the exam day. Now, the classes are structured in this way. Our OSCE lessons are Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Why we call it OSCE lesson is because it's more focused on preparing you for the OSCE, but it doesn't mean we don't cover CBT at the center. Of course we do, because you do some picture test classes, you do some short cases and all that at the center. Then the clerking counseling examinations, usually Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It can be done online and offline. For those who cannot go to the center, and those who have asked, oh, how can I do these things online? Believe me, we've been doing it since 2020, and our online has produced great results for the academy. And over the years, we've modified our online classes. So if your biggest worry is that, oh, I'm not close to any of the centers, I think you shouldn't worry about that. The only thing I consider a challenge for those who are online is discipline. Discipline. If you can be disciplined enough, the online actually feels like a private class, because if everybody is muted and the tutor is talking just the way I'm talking, you will just assume the tutor is just talking to only you. Okay? And then it becomes more of a personalized experience. Then if you know how to utilize your time and network properly, you can even get one of the tutors to be assisting you, you know. That means not going through. If you go through them, still have to charge, and they will have to charge you. But there's a way some candidates do it in the past, that they become friends with the tutors, and they will want to help. Some of them are willing to help you, but you know that once you go through Acemedix, now they want to charge and have to charge you. I'm just giving you tips. We have a lot of tutors that you can try to. Most of them are willing to assist as well. And then sometimes there's a program that we run. We also run, we call it accountability partner. We get old students, old candidates who would want to form partners with different groups, subgroups. And as many as we get who are assigned to different subgroups, they become like coaches to these groups. Also, within the candidate, also we do what we call the same accountability partner, AAA, the Acemedix accountability partner, AAP, sorry. So what also does the Acemedix accountability partnership program is, you as a candidate, those who are interested, they will fill a form, then we'll match you with someone. We'll ask you certain questions, you fill the form. So we'll now match you, and the list will be posted on the page. Each of you will contact the person you're matched with. The accountability program also will have a timetable for two of you to follow. It's just a way of people keeping themselves in check. So we'll do that, but that usually comes halfway into the program. We do the accountability program thing. Now I'm back to the the classes. The CBT classes Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. We call them CBT classes because the classes this period is focused primarily or is targeted towards preparing you for the CBT. As I mentioned, we have hacked the CBT process, and this is one of the fundamental steps that we take for the CBT on Tuesday and Thursday, Saturdays. And here is why. Let's look at the schedule here first. The CBT program on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, you could see that on these days we run 2 sessions in the morning and in the afternoon. So the morning session is the ISS, we call it the interactive study session. So each and every one of you who register with Acemedix will be divided into smaller groups of 14 candidates, maximum of 14. So it depends on how many that we get to. Sometimes the group can we can add a bit more, but usually it's 14. And then there's also a reason why. I will explain it later why it is 14. Now, during the ISS session, there's going to be a timetable, there's going to be a group leader, and then there'll be a timetable. The group leader is responsible for assigning tasks for those in the group, including the group leader as well. In fact, the group leader has to lead. Okay, it's not like you just be assigning tasks without participating. No, you're actually actively participating as well. What we'll do is we'll have collection of past questions that were set by your predecessors. We'll give you access to this question folder. Now, your task during your group session is for each individual to go over the questions and set their own question, usually about 10 questions. So if we are, for instance, doing medicine, and then you are to present on hypertension, so the task is simple. You have to provide 10 questions on hypertension, 7 multi-choice, single best, and 3 picture tests. A total of 10 questions. So if you are seven, usually in every ISS session, 7 people are presenting. That means for every ISS session, you're going to discuss 70 questions on hypertension. So because 70 questions total, not just hypertension, but 70 questions total in your group, because there are going to be seven topics to discuss, and each person is presenting 10 questions. That makes it 70 questions total for your group per ISS session. So why do we do this before the lecture? We do it because it gives you opportunity to explore these topics. By asking questions and answering questions, you get to explore a topic, so that when the senior registrar, let's say Dr. Fahad, is to teach you in the afternoon between 2 to 4, whatever he's teaching you, it becomes easier for you to assimilate because you've already explored those questions in your group study. That's the rationale. So we do the ISS session. During the discussion is just questions. You present question on the topic that you are assigned to, and then so let me see if I can share something to show what I'm talking about. Where's my Google Drive? See whether we can see any of these. The ISS, I'm looking for the ISS session to have an idea what's okay. Can we find this? Let me just search for this. Okay, so for instance, you're going to have access to this ISS folder, and then you make your own questions. So usually we give access. Let me just go back. You can see week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, week 6 in that order. And you're going to have access to this. So you form your own questions. Let me open this particular one. This was from group 3. And then this is hypertension presented by, the person didn't put their name. But so this person presents question and answer for their group. Total of 10 questions. Then picture test, 3 picture tests. Okay, that's 10. The next person presents heart failure. Jessica presented heart failure. The same thing, 8, 9, 10. And believe me, our group sessions are very, very important. By the way, there are punishments for missing a group session. There are punishments for missing group sessions, and or even coming and then you're not presenting and you're expected to present. There are punishments to this, and punishment can range from losing access to the website for a week to 2 weeks to 3 weeks to 1 month. And we are very, very serious about this. We are very serious about it. You could lose access to the website for defaulting during the ISS sessions. It's not that we are wicked, but we are reasonable as well. So if you must miss a session, then it has to be communicated through the right channels and on time. We'll talk about that before the classes starts. With the registered candidates, we'll go in details about the ISS session and what you're expected to do and all that. Okay. Reason why we're very strict about it is number one, the ISS is the building block of our CBT success stories, and we need to want to keep it at that. And secondly, if you assign a topic and you don't present, obviously it's going to affect your group mates, and then your group mates who don't benefit because of your own laziness would also wouldn't be happy about that. Now, our motto is that for ISS is that we will not just for us, in Acemedix in general. If you really want to succeed, we're going to go all the way. We won't leave any stone unturned, just to make sure that you succeed, right? But if you want to fail, we would also help you do that. So the choice is yours. But believe me, if you really want to pass this exam, we will do everything humanly possible to make sure that you pass this exam. But if you want to fail, we won't allow you to affect those who want to pass. And that's why we make these rules. We are very, very strict about them, especially for our ISS programs. Because so far we've seen the results. It's been amazing. The CBT has been amazing just because of the ISS program, which is our building block. So now you're done with the ISS program in the morning, between 9 to 12:30. So each person has about 15 minutes that they're about to present. So you finish the ISS program, and then in the afternoon, you will now have a lecture with the registrar who is in charge. Let me give an idea of how the lecture materials are. So let's say this is medicine, the key point lectures. So this is how the lecture is structured. So you've already explored the questions during your ISS session. Then in the lecture session, you would have, this is how it is summarized. So each of the topics will summarize this way. So the registrar goes over each of them. The same 7 topics that you had in your discussion. You can see initially the other one was hypertension, heart failure, just like the ISS. So 1 or 2 slides, they are summarized this way. So it makes it quite easy for us to achieve a lot at the same time. This is how we organized this particular aspect. Now, the difference between this, you can now see when we say, I just want to point out a little bit of difference between this and the CK Clinical Knowledge Masterclass. For instance, you could see that this is more of a condensed lecture during the main program. But for those who require additional time, hypertension can even be a 100-slide lecture, if you're being honest. So hypertension can be a 100-slide. So what we do instead is, for those who require additional lectures, that's why we created the CK Masterclass, where you can now have, for instance, here is sort of a lecture material here, all on hypertension. So you can now dissect it further. That is now the difference between the main program lecture and the CK Masterclass lectures. So I hope you get the difference. So let's continue. Now, but if you believe that your knowledge base is good, there's no point doing the CK Masterclass. It's just for additional knowledge. Now, okay, so let's continue with our slide. I think the first thing will be, let me talk about the offline and online classes. When you register with Acemedix, you automatically registered for both online and offline. I know some, because I've heard some tutorials charge separately for online and for offline. No, we don't do that. Once you register, you're qualified for either offline or online. So what it means is that you can start online today and tomorrow you decide to move to offline, or you can start offline and tomorrow you decide to move to online. Perfect. You just need to notify the right person, the admin, in this case Mavis, and then you can be added to the individual groups, because each group, each category has its own group. Okay, so in that way, it makes it easy for everybody. The offline classes in Abuja, Lagos, Port Harcourt, Kano, Kaduna, Ibadan, and we have a center in Sokoto, but for now, the center it's dependent on the number of candidates that we get. If we don't get enough candidates, even those who have made inquiries about Sokoto Center, I tell them the same thing. If we not get up to 20 registered candidates, the center will not be operational. We won't operate it. But if we do, of course, we'll open the center. We already have our classroom, we have our tutors and all that. But if we don't get that number, then we can't operate the Sokoto Center. Now, the offline classes, all our classes are between, okay, let me go back to the timetable. The classes are between 10 o'clock to 1 p.m. Each class is for 3 hours. Okay. Monday, Wednesday, Friday is usually the offline or online, depending on which one you choose. So if you're online, it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday as well. If you're offline, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday is online for everybody. So in essence, we're having classes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 times a week. Okay, the classes are usually 9 times a week. So what it means that if you're online, you're going to have all your classes online. But if you're offline, then on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you go to the center. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, you now have classes online. Now, back to the format. That's for the offline or online class. Next, we have the unified timetable. Okay, so let me share a sample of the last session's timetable. Main program. This is the main program. Timetable. Okay. Because our title is usually the same. We just need to modify the dates and maybe add 1 or 2 things. So usually from start to finish, you have access to your timetable from start to finish. Go to the end of this timetable here. So you can see that this was the end final mock here. And that was week 13 here. I think this was the last batch because the exam was also the notice was quite short. The exam was supposed to be in June, and then they moved it to September. So we just had a very short period of time to prepare the next batch. So they couldn't get up to 14 weeks, but regardless, the classes were combined to make sure that they covered all the lessons. That's why you're seeing 13 weeks here, but generally it's 14 weeks. Now, also, this might not be the perfect timetable. Let me actually go back because a lot of classes were combined. Let me go to the set before. Okay. Hold on. Because we did a lot of changes to this just to make sure. Sorry, okay. It's actually this one. Okay. So Usually Monday, like I said, is the OSCE days at the center or online. Abuja Center, depending on the number of candidates, because Abuja usually get a lot of candidates, will run morning and afternoon classes. But the other centers, just morning classes, because the numbers are not enough to divide it into two. But I mean, if we get more people, of course, we can divide into two. But for now, it's only Abuja Center that can get up to 100 and something candidates. So we divide it into two classes, morning and afternoon, just to make sure that people are comfortable in the classes. Now, so usually every class, whether online or offline, we start with a question drill. The question drill are a set of rapid fire questions just to get you warmed up. And the question can come from anywhere. The tutors that have access to these questions, they just ask you questions to warm you up before the class starts. So this is usually the first week is for introductions and setting the tone. Excuse me. Then on Tuesday, for instance, we start the first 2 weeks for medicine. So lecture 001, you can see here 7 topics: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, remember that I said that the groups are 14 each. What it means is that in your group, the first 7 people will be presenting the questions on these topics, while the other 7 candidates are resting. Not resting per se, but like they're in the group, they're not presenting. The first 7 will present this week. The other 7, so let's say this first 7 presents on Tuesday. Then on Thursday, the other 7 will present. That's why we said 14. Okay. Sometimes also we're actually considering making it 21 in a group, such that so that you can only present once a week. So it gives you more time to relax. But we are looking at that because the last batch, they were more than 14, and the feedback we got that they liked that system because sometimes one person can be presenting once in 2 weeks or in that order. So we're also going to explore that. But for now, we're just sticking with the 14. So you present on Tuesday, you will not present on Thursday in that order. Now, so you present, for instance, these topics in the morning. Then in the afternoon, the senior registrar will take you through these topics as well. Now, look at these comments. The 7 candidates assigned these topics by the group that is expected to provide a total of 10 questions on each topic. The questions must contain at least 3 picture test questions. Okay, 7 best single best question answers. And question, okay, there's a mistake somewhere here. And questions are single best answer and can be sourced from the website or other resources. Finally, here you are advised to complete the Q topic questions for each topic on the website. Please note down this. We'll talk about it when we go over to the website. As I mentioned, we have hacked the CBT, and this is also part of it. So for now, I mentioned the ISS, the key point lectures, and now I just mentioned the Q topic. These are some of the things that we put in place for CBT. So when we go to the website, you can look at the other things. So that's when I'll talk about the Q topic. But you are advised to complete the questions for each topic in the Q topic session. We'll talk about it on the website. So then Wednesday, you have your class. So now, what we've mentioned so far, let me point out something that maybe some of you did not notice. So on Tuesday, you have these 7 topics: hypertension, heart failure, and this. That's one. That's the first time. So on this Tuesday, you're encountering this topic twice. What it means that the first time you encounter it is when you're discussing it in your group. That's the first time. The second time is when you are doing a key point lecture with the senior registrar in the afternoon. That is 2. These 7 topics, that is 2. Then the third time you're encountering it is under the Q topics in the website, because in the website, we created a category where you can, these 7 topics with their questions are on the website, and you are advised to do them. That's the third time you're encountering these topics. Now, the fourth time is the next day at the center. You can see hypertension, heart failure, chest pain, kidney are the same topics from the other day. You are now going to do the clerking and the counseling at the center. So this is now the 4th time you are encountering these topics. And then the fifth time you encountered it is when you were preparing for it on your own, because I mean, you're supposed to prepare for these topics ahead of time, either with the Acemedix handbook or your own other resources that you're using. So in all, you're going to encounter the topics within a period of 3 days. You encounter the topic at least 5 times. The goal is that there's no way you encounter these topics at least 5 times each that you'll not be able to answer any question that come up in the exam. It's not possible. And that's the way we have structured it, and we say that, oh, we have hacked this CBT thing. We make sure that you encounter the topic at least 5 times each of the topics, so that there's no way the question can come up. Even if you don't know the correct answer, you can eliminate. And once you eliminate, I mean, the answer will be staring you in the face. So this Thursday, the same thing. So basically, that's how the program runs. It keeps rotating from department. So in the first week, we did 14 topics already in medicine. Then the next week is for O&G. O&G. Then the third week is speech surgery. Then the fourth week is pediatrics. The same format question, and then we now go back to, why is it keep going down? Then we now go back to community medicine on the fifth week. And after that, we have the first mock. Then again, we come back to we now come back to medicine again. You see, medicine again. We come back to medicine. The new set of topics again. So at the end of the day, 14 plus 14. So each department will do 28 topics in total for each department, 28 topics. Okay? So we'll come back to medicine, the same format. And I forgot to mention, on Saturdays, so on Tuesday, Thursday, you are having the topics and you're discussing the questions. On Saturday, you are going to have what we call Q block session. So what it means is that it's on the website. You're going to do 40 questions from all the topics that you've done within the week. So the 14 topics you've covered within the week, questions will come out from them. In the sum of 40 questions come out from them. These questions are were set by the senior register that is teaching you the topic. So these set questions, 40 questions, you answer them in the morning. Then in the afternoon, you will discuss those questions with the senior registrar as well. So it's a way of tying up everything you've done for the week. So this is also one of the ways we also tackle the CBT. So you can see that we've put a lot of effort into CBT. There's no way, even if you have a blockhead, it will enter. There's no way it won't enter. Now, the picture test I didn't mention here. So after the week one, the second round of medicine, we'll now start picture test. One thing about this picture test is that if I can show you a picture test, let me see. The picture tests also are in line, are arranged according to the topics. Let me go back to the material. Lecture, key materials, medicine. So the way we also arrange our picture test is also in line with the topics as well. So it's also another way. You can see this is cardiology, under cardiology. All these are under cardiology. Then nephrology, sorry. No, heart failure, sorry. Then MI, cardiology. Then we'll now start to enter kidney. The same way it's arranged. So basically, by the time you start doing picture test again, it is still in the order of your timetable, the topics in your timetable. Everything is synchronized, so you don't get confused. Even ultimately, our handbook, which you're actually going to get access to the PDF, is also arranged according to the timetable. So if you have the handbook, both either the PDF or the hard copy, for those that like to read hard copy, and you will see that it makes it easy for you because everything also arranged according to the timetable. You can see here, the topics are arranged exactly the way it is in the timetable. So it makes it easy for you to also read. By the time we're done with the timetable, you will have covered every single topic you're seeing here. All these things you're seeing here would have been covered by the time you're done with the timetable. So usually we advise to read ahead of time they are really short topics. You read them so that by the time you start having them in classes, it will be like a second time that you're reading. It will be like a second time that you're going over it. Okay, so that's it for the timetable. The timetable is very simple and straightforward. I think there are probably other things I didn't mention, like the OSCE, the short cases. Sorry, I probably didn't mention the short cases. The other, you can see there are physical examinations everywhere. In fact, we do them and then we'll keep revising them. The week one, you saw the introduction to physical examination. Then subsequently, we do have every day, almost every time. If you go through the timetable, you're going to see a lot of physical examination. You can see even on the days of clerking, because you have to keep repeating, practicing them. Even to this day, you will keep repeating different examinations. You keep practicing until you become very good at them. You can see on this day, speech test. After it, we just dedicate another day to just do respective system examination. Then also the short, data interpretation class, then the short cases as well. Also the short cases, another thing too, the short cases are also arranged. For instance, pediatric short case is also arranged according to the topics in the timetable. Here is the pediatric short case again. Where is the short cases? Okay, here short cases. You can see also, let me go to medicine again. Like they move this file. Okay, at least this one short case here. They're also arranged according to the topics in O&G that you. So it's usually question, because sometimes it's how it come out in exam. In fact, the other exam, this thing came out, it's just something like this. So this is how the short case usually is. And then there are answers at the end. So this is the question, and then these are the answers. So you will do all these things in class. If you had gone under the O&G, this is also arranged according to the topics in the O&G. It seems this one has been moved, probably by my assistant. Okay, that's the timetable. Our timetable is uniform. It applies to all the centers, whether you're doing online or offline, whether in Abuja or Kano or Kaduna, you're doing exactly the same thing as everyone else. Back to our slide. Let me see the format. I think the next thing will be, okay, we've talked about the OSCE, the classes, the lectures we mentioned. In the session, we talked about, okay, now the website. So the website is basically, I think the best part of the tutorial here is the website. When I started the tutorial initially, we don't have a website, but it didn't take long for me to realize the importance of the website to the MDCN program. And over the years, we've built, this is probably the third or fourth website that we're building, because I wasn't satisfied with all the other ones, and eventually we were able to arrive at this, and I'm really proud of this project. We started in 2021 also, and it's been refined and refined and refined, and it's not even about boasting, but we have the best website for this exam. No other website comes close. So on the website, the homepage, this is the testimonial box where the candidates who talk about what their experiences were like in Acemedix. We categorize them according to what is more paramount. It could be about the tutors, about the lectures, whether they were online, about the MDCN exam, about the confidence, the family, the experience, or the support, whichever one. We hope that by the time you join us as well, you also share your own testimonial when you're done. So these are some of the features of the platform, which we're actually going to take a look at briefly. There are a couple of other things here that you can maybe go over at your own time. Now, the login, you can read our terms and conditions. Make sure you do that. We do not allow copying of our questions or screenshot of our questions. and can attract legal case. We're actually in court with some tutorials because they went and copied our questions word for word and put it on their websites. Obviously, that's against our terms and conditions. About 2 tutorials are in court with us because we take these things serious. We spend a lot of time, effort, and money getting these questions and solving them, especially the past questions. I mean, I know how much we spent for the 236 questions that we record from the last exam, although we haven't uploaded it. But imagine uploading it on the website and somebody just goes and copies it word for word and then transfer it to their website and start passing it off as their own material. There is no single MDCN question anywhere that you see from any tutorial that is not from Acemedix. I know things are done some anyhowness in Nigeria, but sometimes there are just some things you cannot do. Even if you want to copy, I mean, you can copy, but then you copy our explanations as well. It makes no sense. So we take it seriously and make sure you read our terms and conditions. If we catch you screenshotting our questions and posting on that platform, we know that we can actually take it up to and seek legal redress. Believe me, we will do that. So make sure you read our terms and conditions before you sign up on our website. So once you log in, this is the homepage. We're going to talk about the website because I think at the end of the day, I'm going to make a separate video for the website because some people find it usually they find it very challenging the first time they visit the website. It looks very overwhelming, if I should use that word. It could be overwhelming. So someone's mic is on. Can you turn off your mic, please? Someone just joined now. Sorry, who is that? So let me see. All right, thank you. So the website, we're going to make separate video explaining the website because a lot of people find it very challenging. And I don't know whether it's my network, but there are some features that are not showing properly. Like these things are not showing properly, but I think it's probably network. Now, these are the this is the home page. On the home page is just maybe where we put add the testimonials, recommendations, recommended flashcards, performances. So here you can see the summaries of what you're doing. Maybe if you need to, maybe if you're not doing if you're not answering a particular session, or you need to see how many you've done a particular session, this is where it is shown. Also, you can view your progress here as well, how many you've answered for each as well. Now, generally, every part of the website is important, I would say that. But also, in terms of importance, the quiz, you see the quiz section. Now we have the MCQs. So these are the MCQs here under the quiz section, different categories. Usually you do the questions, each question have an answer and an explanation. Also, I would advise you go over them. Then the picture test. I'm saying this because I'm already laughing because I know at the end of the day, some of you are just going to focus on the MDCN record part and they would never do any other part. Now, picture test. There is a thing, this was mistakenly put here. So for the picture test, this MDCN record, this is supposed to be dental picture test, not supposed to be here. Okay, we're going to move it to dental. It's supposed to be under dental. Okay, that's actually dental. So I don't know why I'm seeing it in picture test. Okay, it's supposed to be dental. Anyway, the picture test basically is the ECG, instruments, medicine, O&G, pediatrics, radiology, surgical, and then tropical disease. These are the picture tests. This MDCN record is a mistake. It's supposed to be under dental. So for instance, the ECG, what we mean here is just like the picture and all. If you believe me, if you go over all the pictures, the questions in this picture test, there's no question that will come out in the exam, especially under the picture, that you will not know. or you will not have seen. We have a lot of pictures that we have over the years put here. And the funny thing that we actually keep updating them, because these are all O and G picture tests. The same thing here in medicine. This medicine picture test. You can actually shuffle between numbers. These are all the medicine picture test. So you answer, you can either show whether it's right or wrong, and then you can check the explanation. Like this is finger clubbing now. You check it's correct. Some sorts of explanation here. And if you fail it, it's usually in red. Okay. Then radiology as well. So all these are picture tests. So for instance, if you go over these 137 radiology questions, there's no way they will ask you any form of radiology question in the picture test that you will not get. So that's the rationale. Make sure you finish your picture test. It's very important that you do so. Then we have the flashcards. The flashcard actually, some people find it very, very interesting because it helps you to summarize or do some key, maybe answer some key questions, basically something like this. That's what the flashcard does. Okay. Another thing actually that we're working on currently is, I mean, everybody knows now this is the age of AI. We're currently working on integrating AI to the website. We're hoping to launch it before the next batch, where you can, it could help you with your studying on the website as well. That will, once the team, they are done working on it, we would integrate it on the website, and then you can use it with alongside the other features on the website. Then there are lectures here. Now the lectures here are just some materials that we got from Nigerian universities that we uploaded. It doesn't necessarily mean that these are the ones we use in our classes, no. But of recent, I noticed that the lectures are not opening. Maybe there's an error somewhere. But the lectures are just materials that we have uploaded for people to just go over. It's not the ones we use for our classes, or it's not the lecture sources we recommend. You can either use the textbook or other materials that will also be actually in the Google Drive. When we talk about the Google Drive shortly, we also have a folder with lecture materials from different Nigerian universities that you have access to. That's actually what we're trying to upload here, but it's taking a lot of time and it requires a lot of efforts to do that. Now for the clean chart is actually also a very important part of this website, if you ask me, because it combines both learning and MCQs in one place, and even picture tests, solving and learning of MCQs in one place. Because, for instance, this particular leg, elephantiasis, and then you will see, and it asks you all these questions relating to that particular picture. And what the thing is, MCQ questions, picture test questions about this picture are likely going to fall under any of these questions here, because when you see a picture test question, if they're asking you for which of the following is true regarding this picture, or the following are true except, okay, or which of the following is not correct, they are going to list features of that particular picture, and it can either be under a diagnosis. For instance, let me give an example. You see this picture and it asks which of the following is false about this picture. They say it is called elephantiasis. That's one of the options. A treatment dietary carbamazepine is a treatment option. That's another option. It's commonly caused by Wucheria bankruptcy. That's another option. This is transmitted by male mosquitoes. That's another option. Then treatment is usually for diagnosis, blood film to check for microfilariae is a diagnostic option. So that's how the picture test is structured. From this now, you can see if you've really read and understood this, if you see the kind of question, you just know that if they say mail is already wrong, that's the only one that is not correct. And you know so that's why I value this clincher section on the website. It is important that you go over it because it really helps with MCQs and picture tests a lot. Okay, now that you're starting with tutorial and you have enough time, go over this section. The clincher section is very important. Okay. The same thing, O&G has its own, pediatric has radiology, has the clincher sections, instruments as well. We have then instrument has, I think we need to even upload more for this instrument. Then ComMed, and then the Almighty Lab. Every single year, questions that come up from the exam always are from this lab. Every single year. Even here, if you click the lab values, we have the lab values uploaded here. Then these are questions from the lab. Different areas are explored. CSF, CBC, EUCR, different sections are explored. And emergency cases are also here. Although a majority of the emergency cases are already they're inside the textbook. So you don't necessarily need it here. Checklist is a part of the OSCE. It just helps you with knowing the common questions you would ask for a particular condition. But if you have the Acemedix textbook, which you have access to, then all these things are not necessary like that. This one can just help with your group discussion. You know, when you guys are practicing and you want to mark each other, you can use the checklist to guide your performances. So we have the checklist for clerking, for counseling, for examination, for levels of prevention as well. The other one is for dentistry. Mocks. This is the session where we have the mock. So main mock, because we announce, okay, we've uploaded your mock. You should check that on the website. These are some of the mock. This is from the last session. We actually have to remove this. Anyway, before you gain access to it, just to confirm, you guys can see my screen, right? Can you guys hear me?
We can.
All right. Are they working on the website? Because okay. So we're on the mock. So just briefly finish up so that we can take questions. Here on the website, we have just to cover, you guys can hear me, right?
Yes.
Can you hear me? All
Yeah.
right, thank you. So here's the mock. Usually when we post, we announce your mock has been uploaded. If it's the CBT mock, main mock, then usually when you do your mock, after your mock, you can review the questions here. The same thing with, for those who are going to do the online, you can review your OSCE here. This was the last batch. No, usually during our revision in Ibadan, we at the exam center we upload some material. So this was where this one was uploaded. These are revision material. So before you use the website, I would have removed all these. Just pointing out. We also have the mini mocks. So the mini mock, you have access to them as well. It's just short mock question you can revise on your own for 20 minutes. Usually we advise when you have your group study, your own individual group studies, or you have your accountability partner, you guys can use this to test yourselves. There are a lot of them. There are a lot of them here. The mini mock session, there are a lot of them. Now, let's proceed to Q block. Remember when I was talking, I mentioned that on Saturdays you have Q block sessions with the registrar that took the class. I mentioned that. So here is the Q block. We're going to remove this before you join because usually we post it after the day for the Q block. For instance, this medicine lecture 001 and 002 is for Tuesday and Thursday lectures. So you do the Q block. Usually these are the questions, and then you revise it with the registrar at the end. Okay. Then slides. Usually this is where we post our workshop materials and all. I think we have not we still remove it. It's for the last batch, so we have to remove it on the site before you guys will come online. Before I go to the main one, MDCN record, which I know most people are interested in, people ask about the CBT. This is for those doing the CBT program. This is actually where for those doing CBT program, this is where their own questions are hosted. For some people will be asking, oh, I don't have access to this CT program on the website. It's not part of your own questions. Your own questions are the ones I've been showing so far. This is for those who are registered to the CBT program, please. So you don't ask, why don't I have access to this one? But the every other thing you have access to. Q topic here. Remember when I was talking about the lectures, when I was going over the timetable, I mentioned the Q topic on the website, that after each ISS and key points, we strongly recommend that you go to the website and do questions under the Q topic. Here is why. Let's say you open the Q topic. You can see that the questions here are arranged according to the different department and according to the different subjects, be it cardiology. Then if you open cardiology, you can see hypertension, heart failure, RHD, infectious colitis, and ischemic heart disease. The same way is arranged in the timetable. Okay. Then to take the quiz, you can see also just short questions, all exploring that particular topic. So you can see now why we say that at the end of the day, you are going to encounter the topic at least 5 times. At least 5 times. Same thing with O and G here. The questions are there for each of the topics. At the end of the day, you encounter the topics at least 5 times. Okay. That's why we always ask our students, just focus on what Acemedix is going to do for you. Limit distractions, and you will pass the exam. You will. Okay. That's it for the Q topic. Then we also have the randomizer. Randomizer are a set of questions. Here you can test yourself, especially your time. You know, the challenge that people have for this exam, the CBT, is usually time. Apart from having knowledge for the question, it's time, you know, because you're getting about 36 seconds per question. So if you're not prepared, it can be a problem. But for our candidates, we've noticed over the years now that most of them finish 1 hour before the exam for CBT. Some even finish at least latest 30 minutes before the exam and they are done. 30 minutes and they are done. So it's that straightforward now. All you need to do is to test yourself. So for instance, this CBT, this randomizer, you can set even exam question for yourself. Number of questions, 300. Time is 3 hours, remember? So 180 minutes. And then you click generate. And it will generate 300 questions for you for 3 hours, and you will do it. Although it's a mixture of picture test and OSCE and all that. So it will mix it up for you. Then when you're done, you submit. And when you submit, you can review it. Okay? You can review. And for instance, this is one when I was testing out something. You can review, and then it will show you the rights, and then you can view the explanations as well. Okay? That's for but usually we don't recommend to do a lot of questions. If not, it's going to get boring for you. What we rather suggest is you can do small. Let's say your goal is that you should be targeting to do at least 50 questions every day from randomizer. or maybe say 20 questions. So all you have to do is that, okay, let's say you want to do 25 questions every day from randomizer, and then you are.
I was wondering what was happening. I was not hearing you again.
You guys can hear me? Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you clearly. I can hear you, sir.
Okay. So let's say you want to do some questions on the randomizer. So all you have to do is, usually we recommend to practice with at most 30 seconds per question, at most 30 seconds. So if you're using 30 seconds, if you multiply by 25 questions, that gives you 750 seconds. So this 760 kilograms, if you divide by 60, gives you about 12.5 minutes. So let's just say 30 minutes. 30 minutes. So I want to do 25 questions. In fact, usually I would tell my candidate just do 10, for every 25 questions you're doing, use 10 minutes. For every 25 questions, use 10 minutes. So if you click generate, it will generate 25 questions for you. Okay. So remember, as a rule of thumb, for every 25 questions, 10 minutes. So if you're going to do 50 questions, you use what? 20 minutes. If you're going to do 75 questions, you use 30 minutes. So just keep it simple. Before you know it, you've done a lot of questions here. The questions on the randomizer are separate as well, although they are MDCN styled questions. Even if you look at them, you can also see some resemblances to this and the questions I was posting earlier on the page. Okay, these are MDCN styled questions. There are about 2,600 of them. So by the time you finish it, you've done about 2,600 questions. Okay, so try to do the randomizer. Then the key point lectures, we don't really have much here. It's supposed to be for the lectures, your key point lectures that you have. But what we did is we put them on the Google Drive so you can watch them on the Google Drive. Makes it easier for everybody. Because those are exclusive contents, so we can't give access to those who are not registered for the program. That's why we removed it. We're going to remove this from the website, the key point lecture. We're going to remove it. It's going to be in the Google Drive, which you have access to. Then courses, if you check our pricing page, there's what we call the self-study. It's not part of your package because these are going to be done in classes. The counseling, the clerking, the examinations, pathograph, all of them are going to be covered in your classes. But there are those who don't want to do the classes. They just want to do maybe a particular section, be it clerking or counseling. Why not? You can subscribe individually and then take the class. I think I can't remember how much each one costs, but this is not for you. Although usually towards the exam, we make it free for you guys so you can maybe use it to revise your clerking or your counseling. But in the beginning, it is a paid program. You don't need to pay for it. You're already going to have them in the classes, so you don't need to pay for them. Then we have the game. Maybe we need to even upload more games. It's just something interesting. You play it as a group with your friends. So they pick a number, somebody picks a number, time starts counting down. They have to answer what is there before the time runs out. Then you can view the answer at the end. So it's just something fun that we do. So you do it with your friends. Each one has its own time limit. So some 30 seconds, depending on the question, some 10 seconds, some 5 seconds, depending on how many minutes you think you can answer that question. So that's just the game section of the website. We are building our app. Hopefully the games might be better or better. We have a better UI on the Acemedix app. The app should actually be ready. I just don't know why they are delaying it. Then this picture challenge as well, similar thing, but this time around this picture. You just play, it's just something fun you do with your friends. We're going to be adding more games, especially when our medical app is ready. Then we have the forum, but people don't necessarily use this forum much. But I noticed some people actually do. It's usually for you to post questions and it's to foster discussion. But I noticed that people don't usually use it much. I hope you guys can use it. It's just to foster discussion. That's what the so yeah, someone just posted this as well. Okay, then the alumni page is for, I don't know if why it's not opening, but usually we have some of our past candidates, but it's also something that hasn't really kicked off that much on the website. We'll probably work on it much later. Now I'm back to the MDCN recall, because I know that's where most people's interest is. This is the almighty MDCN recall that people talk about on the Acemedix website. Sorry, just to confirm, you guys can still hear me. Simeon, you can hear me, right?
We can.
Yes,
All
sir.
right.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so this is the MDCN recall. I'm laughing because no matter what I say now, no matter how much advice I give, once people start tutorial, everybody's attention is just going to be on the MDCN recall. They'll just be doing as if every other. That's why I started showing you guys the other part of the website, so that you guys know there are other very important part of the website that you need to also study. That's why I started with those ones, because I know what I'm saying. Eventually, everybody just wants to focus on MDCN recall. Well, it's good though, but I still say I maintain that every other part of the website is important, please. So now the MDCN recall is categorized according to the exam. We have the CBT, and then there is the OSCE. Actually, let me start with the OSCE. It's faster, so we can just move on to the CBT. So over the years, we're able to get all the past questions from previous exam. For the last exam, this is the past question. I think we uploaded this one a day after the exam. We got it, solved it, and uploaded it. So this was how it's structured. So here, let's see. List the levels of prevention, and then the answers are there as well. Briefly explain, then apply this to what again, sir? Monkeypox. Okay. Another question was on nosocomial infection. Another one was semen analysis, which is, like I said, is even under our lab. If you go to our lab, you're going to see semen analysis there. And then this was a counseling session on sickle cell anemia. This is history, antenatal booking. This is history taking. I think this was either cerebral malaria or something. This is for another clerking. Then this is the instrument. These are the instruments that we're given. ABC, but it's picture. It's not the instrument itself. They printed the picture out. Then you take a look at it. This is another clerking. But as usual, not as usual. Let me not say as usual before people. But we usually get some of these questions before you enter the hall. I think we were able to. So anyway, some people enter the hall, not. Well, I think before the first batch entered, we were able to get about 5 of the stations. So we have our ways, but it doesn't matter, sir, whether we get it or not. These questions are quite easy. Why am I saying this? If you start from this November 2027 and start going back up, can you even see that? In fact, sickle cell itself was done. Can you see that the first question here in 2027 is sickle cell, which was the question they brought out again in 2024. A lot of questions. If you what we see the level of prevention, is it not this? So what we always advise that time is during the classes is that when you start your MDC, the OSCE, start with the 2027 and work all the way up, because what you're going to notice is that questions get repeated a lot. By the time you're done, by the time you get to 20, you will see that every single question that was here, you probably have seen all of them in all these years as well. Okay, so questions get repeated a lot. That's why we say the OSCE is the easiest part of this exam. So see, level of prevention always coming out. So that's for the OSCE. We have all the years recalls and then their answers. I think it's just one that we don't have, either June or so. June 2022, I think one of them. And that's because June 2020. I don't know what happened. Was it the COVID? Okay, yeah, I think this was the COVID period. Yeah, this was COVID, sorry. There was no exam that period. So that's why it's not there. The rest are there. Okay. So, but if you go all over, you are going to see that questions get repeated a lot. So this one alone, in fact, doing the classes, if you're able to follow the classes and solve these past questions from 2017 to 2024, you're covered for OSCE 100%, I'll be 1000%, or whatever you want to figure you want to put. Then CBT. CBT now is also where we spent a lot of time and effort and money as well to get. There are different modes. So let me go back again. There's the practice mode, there's the time mode, there's the exam mode. Then you can reset the MDCN recall. That's when you're done with them. So for practice mode, you can practice all the questions at once, all. So it opens this way. So here in the MCQ, there are about 888 single best questions. So if we add it to about 200 that we have right now from the last exam, so there's going to be about 1088 questions before you start. By the time we add it, it will be 1088. Then the pictures here as well. All the pictures are from past exams. This is 190. So if we add, and then if we add, we have the 50 from the last exam, all the 50 pictures and their question, making it 240 questions. So 240 to 1088 gives you about 1300 something questions. So in your own, you're going to have about 1300 MDCN recall questions to work with. So you have a lot more to work with. But what it means too is that your chance of passing the exam is higher because you explore more questions. Now, sorry, going back to the CBT, the practice mode. So you can practice based on the discipline, medicine, surgery, pediatrics, community medicine, ONG. So whichever one you choose, it makes it that way. So now these questions are all in medicine. The same thing with the pictorial. All these ones are all medicine pictorial. Another thing too is the time mode. So for time mode, it's just for you to practice with time. So after you're done practicing on a normal mode, then you can go the time mode. So you can either mix the questions or you can do the MCQ or just the picture test. So let me just say mixed, for instance. Subjects, I can do all. So basically, let me say all subjects. Number of questions, I can still do the 25 like I mentioned last time. For 25, I say 10 minutes. So then I click generate. And then it generates questions for me. See, questions are mixed. This is ONG, this is probably pediatrics or medicine, this is medicine, surgery, sorry, ONG. So it mixes the question. Then when you submit, you can view your correct answer and wrong answers. Then the final one is the exam mode. Exam mode basically means it will generate 300 questions for you, 250 MCQs and 50 picture tests. And in this way, we're able to arrange it in such a way that the first 250 are MCQs, then the remaining 50 are picture tests. So that's how this one is done, all from the MDCN report. So if you have 1,300 questions, it means that you can do this one at least 4 times. Remember that for every once you complete any one you do, it will remove it from the pool. So if you do the first 300, those first 300 will be removed from the exam pool. So we have 1,300 something questions. That means you can do 300 questions 4 times. I don't know if you get what I mean. You can do it 4 times. So let's say once you submit, let me show you something. Once you submit, if you go back to this exam mode, okay, I didn't answer any question. If not, normally it will show you that you've done one here. So if you do another 1, 2, 3, 4, so it's used to list it. We list it down there. That's the exam mode. So that's basically it for this. Then you can reset when you're done. Now, that's it for the website. We're going to make a detailed video on the Acemedix website. It's rich in content and our biggest arsenal when it comes to MDCN exam, fighting this CBT. Because for me, I've always known that CBT is the challenge. So now with our website, with the ISS, with the key points, the Q topic, every single thing, there is no way you will enter the hall. And in fact, to show you how effective it is, because this last batch is when everything came together. Do you know, for the first time, people were able to recall over almost all the questions. Because we have 236 recalls. Let me see. Where did you even keep these things? We have about 236 recalls. What is the MDCN recall set? So, and people are able to recall because they're able to recall because it's easy for them. If an exam is easy, then people are able to recall. But if it is not, then it becomes challenging. They will come back, you'll be begging. I mean, I've been in this whole thing for a while now. If it is difficult, if we ask someone what came out, they'll be like, oh, it's fine, we thank God. But this time people were happy. They were posting, and we're able to, from what everybody had posted. Obviously, nobody records it perfectly like that. So from what they posted, somebody can record the question, another person is recording the options. From there, we pay people to go over it and make sense of the questions, and then we'll solve. As you can see, we've solved them. The next is to upload them on the website. We'll upload that before you guys start. This is also the picture part where we will recall all of them as well. Now, the next thing I think is in the drive. For the drive, you have access. You can see every set had their own drive. Even this is the June-September batch. All of you will get access to the drive. You have the handbook, EPIC registration video. You're actually going to make your own. Normally, we invite a former candidate to have just a session like this to take you through the step of EPIC and MDCN registration. We'll make your own video and upload for you. This one too is for the ISS. Like I said, your group leader will assign topics to you, then we'll give you access to this folder. What it means is that, for instance, in week 1, that you're having hypertension and then the other, when you're assigned to a topic, you will come here and then, what example am I going to give now? We're going to talk more on ISS presentation. What we're saying is, you cannot come, if you're assigned hypertension, for instance, you cannot just come here and, let's say, go to this doctor's hypertension and copy it and present to your group. No, it's not allowed. You'll be punished for it. What rather you will do is, you open this hypertension, get some questions there that are nice. You go to another group, because these are different groups. So group 7 too. You go to another person's own and open. This is endocarditis. Let me see, valvular, stroke, rheumatic heart disease. This is done by another group. So you just find their own hypertension. But what we say is, you have to combine at least 3 different presentations. At least 3, so that you're not too lazy to just go and copy one person's own and present to your group. No, you have to read 3 different slides and then make your own presentation from it. I can't find this symbol, but basically you understand what I'm trying to say there. All these that's how we structure the ISS. Anyway, before the classes start, we'll have a meeting with the group leaders, and the group leaders will also inform you all these things. But this is also a folder that you will get. Then the main program folder will be here. Your classes, all the classes I said are recorded week 1 all the way here to week 11. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, then Saturday. Recorded here. The videos are here. Somebody might ask what happened to Tuesday and Thursday, because they're in a separate folder. Key point lecture. Key point lectures are here. That's the Tuesday. See, Tuesday and Thursday classes are here. These are the videos. Then The Q block also are here. Medicine orange. So everything is really arranged in a way that it's easy for you to revise in case you miss a session or miss a class. Then the mock results are posted here, mock 1, mock 2, mock 3. Don't worry, I can open it because it's just numbers that are there. And you don't know who's number this, number that. So this is the mock results. So we'll post the results here for you. We have 3 standard mock exams, but in between there is what we call mini mock exams. Mini mock exams are done at the different centers at different times. So you can even have up to 10 mini mock exams, like 5 stations. So a mini mock exam can just be on counseling. So you come to class, and usually we don't announce it. You can come to class, we'll have it before your class starts. So we just say we have a mini mock today, and then maybe you come and it's all the 5 questions are from clerking, or all the 5 questions can be from counseling, or can be from examination, or can be from data analysis, or can be combined. But that's how the mini mocks are. So you come to center and then voila, you have a mini mock. So we do that a lot. We can do up to 10 mini mock sessions. But for the main mock exam, because it takes time and resources, we can only give you 3 standard mock exams. In the after the first half, before the end of second half, and then at the end of the program. Then also the orientation videos are recorded and uploaded. Unfortunately, this video has broken apart, so we might still upload it, or we might make a new video, or we just get a video from the previous batch. These are physical examination videos, but we don't necessarily recommend this because all of them already, you're going to get free access to this one here on the website. Let me show you this website that keeps logging somebody out. So yeah, under the courses, view courses, mastering physical examination, you'll be given free access to this. Once you register, you have access to it. So here you can just watch them on the site. And for those who are asking, oh, I'm online, how am I going to practice my examination or learn examination? Our videos are step-by-step videos. Okay, it's so easy to follow. We list the steps and we perform it. So let me allow this video to play. We took time to make this video. So first we list the step approach. This is what you're expected to do. Then we demonstrate it. So the next is the demonstration. So after demonstration, then the next one. Now, so you can see it's a step-by-step video. When we list the steps, we demonstrate, we list to demonstrate. So even if you're online, and you don't come to the center, because that's the only challenge people talk about physical examination. Once you follow these steps and you have siblings or pillows or anything you can practice with your partner or your parents or your mom, you can demonstrate, practice with them. Okay, but the videos are very, very detailed and well explained, so you won't have a problem whether you're online. The only difference offline is that, oh, you can be lazy and you come offline and then your friends are doing something or people are doing something, and then you can be like, okay, let me just join. That's the only thing. Like I mentioned, the only challenge with online class is discipline. But if you're able to have that discipline, which I believe is one of the let's say characteristics of a doctor, we are well disciplined, then you can be successful in your online classes. So I think we've covered everything. Okay. Drive the class presentations so in individual centers you can present to the teacher. We bring out days that you can come and present to teachers and they would take your clerking, they'll correct you and all that. These are done in the centers. There are actually a lot more that we do in the center that we didn't mention here. We would like you to discover by yourself, but we just want to highlight the key things that we do in the tutorial. Now, for our official pages, we have the Acemedix family page where we will add you once you register. That's payments. If you pay for a program, for any particular program that you pay for, you'll be added to the any particular program that you pay for, you'll be added to the official group. Then, but our family group is the official group. Then the center group, each center has a group that you'll be added to. Abuja, Lagos, online, Kano, Kaduna, anyone you'll be added to. We have a Telegram group, the Acemedix Academy and the Acemedix Media page. These are just for adverts. Then the MDCN forum groups that for MDCN candidates taking for like the 1.0 is for the last batch, 2.0 for this batch. Subsequent batches will have their own forum. Like now, those who are in 1.0, you wouldn't even understand what's going on because they're just talking about their induction or house job and all that. So that's why we created the 2.0 for your own batch. Now we also started yours. By the time you're done, you've done your induction and everything, we'll create another one for the next batch. For our workshop, we mentioned we do workshop for our candidates at the exam center. We've done in Kano, Ibadan, Sokoto. So these are the places that the exam have been so far since we've been running the tutorial, and we've done revision for our candidates at the exam center each single time. It's something we've been doing, and we don't plan on stopping. I think that concludes the orientation. Okay, one more thing. Our tuition fee is 130,000. This covers till exam, at least June. We're working with June. Whichever one comes first, till June or till exam, 130,000. No hidden or additional charges. That's for the main program. Okay, which gives you access to what we just talked about plus the website. So you don't pay separately for the website, please. We don't. But if you want to subscribe to the website separately, then sure. You can visit our website. You see the subscription packages there. But once you pay for the classes, you get access to the website. Registration, we would officially start either this week or next week. We haven't announced yet, so we were supposed to start this week, but because of this CK masterclass that we're planning, we want to make sure if it's something we can do or we cannot do. But every announcement regarding registration will be made this week. We're not in a hurry to start registration. Just make sure that by the time we start, because once we start, we just move from there to the exam day. But yeah, it will be announced shortly. But just know that it's 130,000 for now. Although with the current situation, it's a bit challenging, but we believe that we should be able to at least do this batch with 130,000. That's basically it. I don't know if so we can now take questions. I'll now take questions from anyone who has any questions. So if you have any question, please go ahead before we conclude. Okay, somebody, Dr. Ella. Dr. Ella, go ahead.
Elias, so
Sarah, go ahead. Elias, sorry, go ahead.
we barely talked about dentistry, so we don't know if it's a different thing or it's all together.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. You talked about what?
So we barely talked about dentistry. I don't know if it's a different orientation for dentistry student or it's all together with it.
Okay, the dentistry. So the dentistry, maybe you joined after we talked about it, but I said dentistry will have their own orientation by the coordinator. That will be announced. Okay. I'm not the coordinator for the dentistry group, although it's still under the Acemedix and we oversee everything. But Dr. Wisdom, who is our coordinator for the past 3 years, he will conduct the orientation. Okay, that will be announced. Okay.
Thank you.
Please, I have a question.
Okay, go ahead, Dr. Josh.
Yes, I just want to know if this will be available to us, the recording of this.
Sure.
presentation
It will be made available. Yes, sure.
on the group.
It's been made available. Dr. Soibi, go ahead. I don't know if I got
Okay.
that right.
Yeah, it's Soibi. Good morning. Thank you for
Good morning.
the orientation. I wanted to ask about the EPIC registration. Can you brief us on that? And what we need to get that sorted out? Because
All right,
I
so
heard you need to do that as soon as possible.
yeah, when I did my own EPIC, a lot of things have changed, and I've really not paid attention to the new changes. But from what I know, yeah, you need EPIC to write the exam, but not all the entire EPIC. Basically, what you need is proof that you have an EPIC account, and then the EPIC identification form, which comes once you open an account. So now the way EPIC made it, to finalize your account, you need to make a payment. I think about $100 and something, maybe $200 I can't remember the exact amount. Remember I said we're going to organize orientation for EPIC and MDCN registration. That will be done separately from this. We'll organize that orientation. So those who are interested will join in and get informed on that. But from the little I know, you by the time you register for an EPIC account, you get to pay some amount of dollars. And then with that, EPIC, we schedule you for a notary camp, online notary camp. Then you go online with your passport, and then they will verify your identity. They will go ahead and stamp that EPIC identification form. Now, with that EPIC identification form, that's what you need to submit to MDCN for you to be allowed to write the exam. Okay. Then the second part is before induction, you will have verified your medical certificate. Although you can do everything at the same time, even before your induction. It's better to do all at once. So once you start your EPIC form, your EPIC registration and everything, it takes less than a week, because now most schools, it was in our own time that it was a bit challenging. For instance, 2017, we were the first set to, because then it was difficult for people that finished from KNMU to do the EPIC thing. You have to call school, do this, do that. We actually, together with VN Karazin, we got the schools to create accounts with EPIC. Before then, schools were required to have an account with EPIC. So they opened a portal. It makes it easy now. Most schools now have accounts with EPIC. So it's easy. Normally before, it was EPIC had to send your documents to them by courier. You have to pay for courier service. They'll verify and they will come back. But now that most schools have accounts with EPIC, it takes less than 1 week and the processes are done. So once your school verifies the documents, I think you pay some amount of money. Then you now ask MDCN to send, you pay money again for EPIC to send the documents to MDCN. So that's the process, to the best of my knowledge. But we will get the candidates, the other candidates come and talk to you guys about the process. Okay. Dr.
Quick question.
Raput, so I can't see the name correctly, but go ahead. Go ahead and ask your question.
Yes, so my question is, in a case where someone is still has an exam to write in January, can I go ahead to make payment for the MDCN package and then begin maybe in February or March?
Do you mind sharing which exam is that?
Pardon?
Do you mind sharing which exam you're preparing for in January?
Oh, it's just a school exam.
In January, when are you when will you be graduating?
I'm done already. I finished in
Okay, you're done.
November. I just need to write some
Why
formality
I'm
exam.
asking is that your certificate will be out before June, right?
Yes, it will.
Okay, then
To be
go
out
ahead.
in
Sure, go
February.
ahead. Go ahead and register. It's just that some people reached out to me that they'll be graduating in July. If they can register, I say no, you don't, because you may not be able to meet up with the exam.
Okay.
Except
All
the
right.
person just wants to do the tutorial for some people just want to do tutorial, no problem. For you, you can go ahead and register. Okay.
Oh.
So Dr. Deborah, please go ahead. After Dr. Deborah, then Dr. Ino.
Mentioned
Yeah,
earlier
Deborah,
that
listen.
the CBT, can you hear me?
I hear you.
You mentioned earlier that the CBT questions, they are 300. So my question is, this 300 question, does it also include questions for dental students, like dentistry students, or there is 300 CBT for medicine people and 300 for for
The
them
data
just
candidates. Yes, of course. If they give us data question, probably we will fail the exam now. So I think that there's obviously separate questions. But for on our website, we didn't highlight. I forgot that there might be data candidates here. But don't worry, during your orientation, we will show you the aspect of the website that are for data candidates. In fact, we are currently working on the dental aspect of the website to make it more robust. We already have some things, but we want to actually make it more robust. We're currently working on it. So by the time we fix the orientation for the dental candidate, you will see the improvement. Our dental tuition fee is 150,000. The center, fiscal center, we have online and offline, but the only offline class is in Abuja. Okay, we'll provide accommodation. If you want to get to know about the accommodation, you can send me a message and we can contact you. We can link you with the people in charge of the accommodation. Okay. I don't know if that answered the question, Deborah, sorry. Then Dr. Ino, go ahead. You want to ask a question? Dr. Ino.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. Yes, my question is, you spoke about a master class that will be done like a couple of days, I think for like 2 days, you said, before the exam, and then also like a revision that will be done like a day to day exam. So I want to know if this is the same thing or if there's a difference between the two.
Okay, so let me just go over them quickly. So I said we have different master classes. There's the MDCN master class, there's the clinical knowledge master class. Then we have the bullet points. Then we have the workshop. The workshop is free for the candidates, the 3 days program. Now, the bullet points, I've explained, there because each of them, anyway, when we announce that those who are interested, we'll talk about everything about it. Then those who are interested can register for it. But I said that the bullet point program basically means we go through each department, and for each department, the same list of topics that you have now. Let's say for medicine, there is hypertension, rheumatic heart disease, and the rest. Each of them, but rather than going through the topics, the maybe reading notes on them, we only do questions, the key points, key highlights, or questions for each of the topics. That's how we do the bullet point program. And I said that I'm considering that for the next time that we do bullet point program, the last batch when we did it, it was like an 8-day program because we had to do medicine, surgery, pediatrics, O&G, and the rest. But I'm thinking that we might actually spread it so it can be a bullet point on O&G or bullet points in surgery or bullet point in medicine, so that we know that for that time it just focused on medicine. So for those who are interested in that, they can just subscribe to that and participate. It can just be, it's probably, I give example, it can be a 2 days program for 4 hours each, total of 8 hours. All the program will not clash. That's what we were telling you. The main thing is the main program. So even that program that will run are going to be announced on the pages, on our advert pages and all the forums that we have people. So those who are interested, I will tell you what the program is about. And if you're interested, you can subscribe to it as well. But it wouldn't clash with the activities of the main program. Any other program that we run is just an add-on. It's not the main program. These are additional features. I don't know if I've answered your question, Ina.
Understand. Thank you.
You're welcome. I think there was another person raising hand. But regardless, you have my WhatsApp numbers. You can always message me anytime you have any question. Like I said, the registration is not open yet. We would announce that this week. Okay, there are just a few things we need to sort out before we announce our registration. We actually, even though we fixed our fee at 130,000, we are still reviewing it because we're reaching out to people at the centers that we are renting, and everybody's increasing rent. I mean, fuel also, because we need to run generator for our centers, also getting expensive. Also are asking for more salary. So we have to review these things before we arrive at a number. Maybe 130, it may be more than 130. We do not know yet. That's why we're saying we have to announce, we review, and whatever price we agree on will be something that will also consider the economic situation in the country. Regardless, we puts our service above the payment. That's one motto, that one thing we abide with. So even if we have to increase the fee, we have to justify it. That's why I'm saying that those who already made payments, we don't want people to keep making payments for now until we rectify the issue. Okay. That's basically. But before Saturday, we'll have an official statement. Okay. In the absence of any other question, thank you guys so much for your time, and hope to see you guys soon at the centers. And make sure you invite your friends as well.
Thank you.
And enjoy the rest
Thank
of your day,
you.
doctors. You're welcome.
Thank
Thank you, sir.
you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, doctor.
You're welcome, Fatima. I hope I see you guys at the centers.
Sure.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, doctor.
Thank you, Doc.
You're welcome. I do good.